Hi, Michaela here. I want to talk a little bit about ways that you might be able to recognize that there are like different facets of you, different sides of you that might be in conflict with each other. Because one of the things I've been reading in a book I just recommended recently in another video is one of the things discussed there is basically that a lot of the time when people aren't moving forward in their lives the way they want to be, maybe they've seen a lot of coaches, they've seen a lot of therapists, they've seen counselors, healers, whatever, or, they've tried like so many different things. Maybe they've moved to exotic locations, tried different careers, tried different relationships, and somehow something isn't clicking. A lot of the time, what's going on is it's like they've been seeing themselves as kind of like one person, right? And we're all one person, but like they've been seeing it all as almost like one unified whole, where it's like, gosh, one day I want to go to work, and then the next day I just want to stay in bed, or I really want to be in a close relationship, but once it gets to a certain point of closeness, I just want to run away. And one of the things that Janina talks about is that basically, if you're feeling polar opposite impulses at the same time or in close succession, it might be a much, much, much more helpful model if you say, there's a way that a part of me really seeks to be close to somebody else, and a way that really, really triggers this part of me that just feels a need to get away. And so she gives some tools for talking about these different parts and for recognizing them, because so often when things hit an impasse in our lives, in our introspection, in our counseling, in whatever it is that we're doing, it's that there are different sides of us that really need some empathic recognition. Like, we need to understand, we need to hear them, we need to be able to empathize and almost start to anticipate, like, wow, I'm starting to get really close to somebody, and I know that there's a part of me inside, maybe a really tender, vulnerable feeling part, that is going to, be so frightened. And then there's going to be this other part that wants to protect that vulnerability by getting away as quickly as they can. Janina talks about it as like an attached part and a flight part. And there's a whole model that this is, there's a whole name for this whole thing. I didn't invent it. I'll put a link to what that's called below, or in a related blog post soon, so you can dig deeper into this. But totally, if this resonates with you, one thing that I want you to know is very often people who are going through this, they feel like they're just nuts, or they feel like they just can't commit. They start coming up with judgments about themselves. I am flaky. I am unlovable somehow. I can't connect. I'm not worthy. And what's actually happening so much of the time is that it's just that there are different parts of you, and they have different mandates. It's like they have different things that they learn to do. And these parts often get really, really, really good at their jobs. And so with this kind of model, with this kind of way of thinking about it, you can actually start to appreciate that even if these strategies aren't serving you that well right now, or even if they don't make sense right now in the current context, there is an ingenuity to them, and they are trying to save you somehow. They're trying to help your sense of safety. They're trying to help your sense of connection. They're trying to help you keep from, that terrible feeling of like abandonment, real or impending. And these parts do these things in different ways that can feel really maddening and feel really confusing. But most of the time, gosh, I've never seen a time where it's like, actually, wow, there's really something wrong with you. There's always, always, always a wisdom to what these parts are doing. There's always a reason. There's always something attached, often some kind of heartache, some kind of fear, some kind of anger, some things that needed to be protected. And I'll say it again, we all learn to protect ourselves in different ways. We all learn to put various armor on. We all learn to have kind of different aspects of us that really sometimes carry the burden of different feelings, different memories, different places within us. So this stuff is resolvable, and such a big piece of it is learning a language for this and learning to develop a language of self-compassion. And you'll continue to see this in my blog posts and my videos over time, just different things that will tie in with this, different tools, different ways to understand these moments that can help you to move forward, first by developing mindfulness, and hopefully soon after developing some compassion for these different parts of yourself that have worked so hard and still maybe work so hard to protect you. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you very soon.